Well, it's really actually kind of quiet outside today, which is kind of bizarre because there's either like a leaf blower, uh, the freaking ghetto birds, we've got the fire, the police sirens, so today's kind of quiet, so it's kind of cool, but I still got energy. Okay guys, today I really wanted to talk about my own personal journey into ketosis a little bit more. So before I did it sort of like a before and after video of me before keto, and I went through a box and I found a picture and I was just like, okay, before and after. Well, somebody put a freaking picture on my Facebook. They had taken it out of one of my albums and I really didn't look at the photo before, but when it was reposted on my wall, and the guy was actually trying to compliment me, I was like, yikes! That's bad! That's Uber, and I don't mean Uber driving, like that's bad. That's hella bad. That's like, that's not even basic bad. That's not even, I never get tired. That's bad. And I was like, this is what women want. And I look disgusting, I think. I think I look terrible. So, this is the after. Bam. I just came back post-workout feeling really friggin' awesome on keto. This morning was crazy. I had about 1,000 calorie breakfast, 80% fat. I just slathered that butter on my food today. But let's get into this darn picture comparison thing so I can talk about it. Here we go. So, here's my Facebook and here's the picture. So check this out. Look at that picture. Oh, there's the lamp in the way. Okay, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, I look shredded, right? Shoulders, abs, lean as hell, no boobs, lean as hell. That's disgusting. I looked at the picture and they're like, oh, Steph, you look amazing. I'm like, that's terrible. That's awful. Look at that. This is what you guys aspire. I can see my face in there. In the thing. This is what you aspire to get. Some of you women just want to get lower and lower and lower in body fat. No wonder women get freaking breast implants when they do fitness stuff. Look at that. It's terrible. So this is not my ideal beauty or idea of beauty whatsoever. So this is me at 113 pounds at 5'3", which, you know, I'm probably in my weight range for being a shorty and an athlete. But now I'm 15 pounds heavier, and so let's look at the Stephanie. This is me now! Bam! Like chunky, bubbly muscle, right? Still lean, still have the low body fat, but this is gluconeogenesis, right? This is right before I really got into keto. I wasn't keto adapted, I was just catabolic. Lean as hell, tiny, lean, right? Had abs, but my abs are more chunky now, right? They're way more chunky. This is a much healthier and vivacious Stephanie. Not this stuff. You guys, women aspiring to get that low in body fat? No! Oosh, oosh. Okay, let me put this away. So let's talk about that, right? People are like, well, what did you eat before you did keto? And I thought I was pretty healthy because I was drinking juice, sugar, fructose, clog my liver, make me estrogen dominant, mess my teeth up. Not only the acidity, but the freaking sugar, the fructose. What else? Well, oh, I loved orange juice. That was like my fave. Fruit up the wazoo. Yes. I love nuts. Yes, I was never like a big lover of cheese because that stuff makes you gassy if you eat too much of it. So I already kind of had the intuition just to use a little bit of cheese. What else did I eat? Let's see here. I had like Ezekiel bread and some you know, high fiber grain cereal crap. I had sandwiches with the Ezekiel. I ate sandwiches, I ate rice pasta. I thought it was so healthy with rice pasta. I ate brown rice, and I ate some vegetables, but now, like, I hunker down on the veggies, yo. Like, people think that you don't get enough vegetables on keto, but I eat more vegetables now than I ever have. So this is me now, right? This is me now. I do not look emaciated. I look nice, and I don't look like my body is starving. I look very anabolic, right? That's what's up. This is me now, right? And this is me then. I still can't get over this god-awful picture of me. Look at that. That's just awful. Scrawny ass. So terrible. I can't even describe it. That's how I ate. So obviously if I'm eating brown rice and I'm eating rice pasta and I'm eating cereal and I'm drinking juice, I would crash in the afternoon. And I had no idea that I was crashing. And I remember when I'd work out or if I was skateboard, you just start dreaming about eating because you get really, really hungry. But luckily, knock on some wood, I didn't go through a lot of metabolic damage. And I also went through bouts of not sleeping well and whatnot. But somehow, some way, maybe perhaps that my life or my mentality or the way I look at life, perception, did not overstimulate my adrenal glands to then do more damage. But this is Stephanie prior to keto, that picture that I showed, which is much better than the other before picture. So let's get right on to why now. This picture is like, I don't know, 7 years ago. It's right on the edge when I started messing with keto. I did not eat enough fat. So even if that was 10 years ago, that's still how I looked. Very, very thin. 113 was my weight. I had no ass at that weight, right? I had no chunky monkey. No, I had no chunky donkey booty at all. I was very, very thin. Now I'm strong. I feel good. I feel healthy. I feel lean. And I've got what? Energy, 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 energy all day long. I can't even believe that I ate that way before. I know so much now, I can't freaking believe it. Like, some of you 20-somethings out there, or 30-somethings, I wish I knew then at your age what I know now. Because I would be even more healthy than what I already am. So, what was my journey? What's my story, my own personal journey into ketosis? Well, I was like, I had heard about the ketogenic diet, but I didn't understand the ketogenic diet. Heard about cyclic ketosis, bodybuilders trying it. I knew that you had to drop out your carbs and up your fat. I didn't know how much fat. There wasn't any references prior to me doing it. I fell into Nora Gagaudis, who's like, she's so amazing. I've mentioned her a few times. She's a person that is like, I started following so early on, who's so damn knowledgeable about everything, about, you know, agriculture, about human evolution, about environments, and about climates, and about, and that's my alarm going off. If it's not sirens, there's got to be some type of technological annoying noise, right? Okay, so let's move on with the story. I started going down the rabbit hole with my thoughts. I started getting all airy-fairy and ethereal. So here's the deal. I found her, started learning more because of Nora Gagaudis' work. The fear of dropping my carbs and upping my fats kind of went out the door. Before doing keto, I did stay away from butter. I did stay away from fat. I know that, and that's probably what you see on this very gluconeogenic body in that picture. But once I started adding the fat, there was absolutely no fear. Our bodies are made out of fat. We need these 4 carbon chain long of these saturated fats. We need that. We need it. So it felt quite natural. And then when I started reading more about the history of human survival in tribe cultures, then I really understood that 10,000 years ago is a blink of time, and 10,000 years of agriculture does not, it makes sense why so many of us have so many issues, because we are not meant to eat this, that, and the third. So once I actually started the keto diet, didn't eat enough fat, I've mentioned this before in other videos, that my workouts, I didn't go through the keto flu, not whatsoever. Keto flu, the bad breath, that's ketones leaving the breath, the acetone. I did not go through, I probably went through a little bit of candida die-off, but I didn't go through lethargy and extreme tiredness, poor sleep, which is another keto flu symptom, because people pacify themselves with eating carbohydrates, which spikes their glucose and drops it, and that makes them fall asleep, but then it's interrupted sleep and their serotonin is down-regulated, because if they use alcohol or carbs to do that, I never did, so I didn't have that reaction to dropping the carbs. Sometimes people get constipated, they lose a lot of water, hydrates, yes. So for every 1 gram of carb, your body can hold on to almost 3 grams of water. Kidneys dump it too quickly, and then boom, you get locked up because you become constipated, dehydrated. No, I did not go through those reactions. In fact, I actually felt better, but as time went on, my workouts were a little funky. But the real catalyst to me upping my fats was in the afternoon, I would personal train clients, and I remember in that like, for me it was around a 3 o'clock zone, so like 2, 3, 4 in that 2-hour zone. I remember training people, and just, not that I was sleepy, but I was super fuzzy brain. I was like cranky, I have to keep being like, like, oh, the energy is up, and it really wasn't up. I had to force energy out that I didn't have, and it made me very cranky. And then I was like, you know what? I need to jack up the fat. So I started cranking up the fat. Now, I didn't count the fat, but if I go back to all the jars of all the different fats I was eating, it was probably upwards towards 4,000 calories. So I ate, hear me, listen to me, and listen to me well. Okay. Yeah. I ate jars of coconut oil, 2 days. Coconut butter, 2 days. I would go through it in 2 days. Almond butter. Yes, I ate almond butter back then, every 2 days. Packs of butter, sticks of butter. And back then I was kind of doing the organic butter, which I do not touch now. Just grass-fed. So I was going through packs of butter. I was going through 26-ounce bottles of olive oil. I mean, there would be no end. I would just dump it. The food was so greasy. What else? I know there's more fat. Oh, avocados, 2 a day. And I was eating this, cans of coconut milk, fatty, and pour out the water, 1 a day. I was like constantly going to Whole Foods, getting the 365 brand of coconut milk. I was like obsessed. And I was making popsicles, and I was drinking it as shakes. And I was eating all this fat at once. And I've got pictures of me. I should really pull up. I should have a session where I pull up pictures, or at least download them and show you guys. But I started to, somebody at the time was like, your butt's looking kind of round. And I didn't pay any attention, because as much as I show the business, I don't really care about the body, to be honest. I care about more how I feel. But I started a trend of doing videos in my workout clothing, so you guys could see what almost a 50-year-old woman looks like. Well, almost 50, in 2 years. You could see what somebody who's on the latter half, who's middle-aged, supposedly, with a severe knee injury, that this is what you could see what it looks like. And if you go back through all the videos, you could see the chick is very consistent. Very, very consistent. I've done videos through periods. Trust me, not fun to go through videos where I'm on my period. I can see it. You guys may not see it. You get a little bloated. I've gone through videos where I've eaten food. I'm just like out here like this. The stomach pushed out. And I'm like, whew, I just ate a lot of food. Point is that you guys can see that I'm very consistent. The body is very, very consistent. And I consistently have energy. Yes, it doesn't matter what time of day, honey. You can't fake this energy. You cannot fake it.